The villages come under colonial Republic declaring military attacks recently, but the motive of Tuesday's attack remains unknown. The colonial Republic declaring governor says there is return to normalcy in the northern zone of Ambazonia. This sad incident reminds Ambazonians of late Mama Abi, who the terrorist La Republic declaring Babalik military burned to ashes in Kwakwa, a 4 month old baby martyr in Muyuka, and the Ngabo massacres, where children and pregnant mothers were roasted by the same colonial Yaoundé military.
Well, for how long will these atrocities continue under the watchful eyes of the international community when the perpetrators brazenly tell lies that there is return to normalcy amidst the killings? Well, taking a further look into the genocide in Amazonia, in 2019, President Paul Biya, sensing abandonment by global defenders of Biya's genocide regime for snubbing a call for an inclusive dialogue to address the conflict which he ignited, the 86-year-old at the time dictator of French Cameroon, Paul Biya, summoned a dialogue for his acolytes across the world. And at the end, a resolution earlier suggested by one of his rivals, Maurice Kamto, was inked for acclamation by the mostly pro-Biya sleepy octogenarians who attended the charade. Now, why should a conflict that has killed about 14,000 of Anglophones be resolved by those who know nothing about it? An Anglophone lamented.
While a frustrated participant asked, former Transparency International Director Mr. Kerry Moner described it as a kind of kingmakers gathering. Many were mere spectators refusing from speaking, which means they already selected those to speak, the barrister filmed as he walked out of the sleepy occasion. He had earlier poured his frustration on Twitter, saying, discussions at the national dialogue have resumed in plenary. I am a bit worried. All of the bureau members were co-opted with no input from the participants who were called upon to explain. The people to speak are on a prepared list with a promise of having others speak. We wait.
Another expatriate who bought a new French Cameroon flag to attend the occasion after having burnt the previous one in anger over the treatment of his people confirmed his earlier hatred for French Cameroon. Many of us, he says, in the hall were offered money not to talk about federation, Mola Lesinge from the UK told pressmen. Genuine British Cameroonians all over the world had disassociated themselves with what they call another scam by French Cameroon, a genuine dialogue they insist must include a neutral mediator to tackle the coming together of these two autonomous people in 1961. A UN mandated territory cannot be deciding the fate of another mandated territory. As the role of the UN, an activist said, and the need for a neutral arbiter was equally echoed by the few independent minds, like the bishops from the British Cameroon who attended the Biya dialogue in the French Cameroon capital Yaoundé from the 30th of September to 4th of October 2019.
Well, the scam of the CPDM monologue was realized by a French blogger, Thirst Squat Jules de Paul proposal. All right, now it means that 4 days and more to propose decentralization to a decentralized state, which has a whole minister of decentralization. He says he wants to understand. While the charade was being showcased to the moribund global community, the killings and burning intensified in the British Cameroons. This was happening in 2019 from Muntengane, where 9 children were massacred in their own farm by French Cameroon soldiers, to Muyange, where internally displaced were shot, their makeshift tent set on fire. There was no evidence of a change in strategy. The question is, who kills 9 innocent children, calling them terrorists in broad daylight? A mourner in Muntengene southern zone of the British Cameroon questions, this is a genocide on us. Another wailing voice in the chorus of mourners spoke.
Well, more than 145 innocent British Southern Cameroonians killed in the month of September in the year 2019 by French Cameroon's Boulibatis militias, aided by France, Africa Union, and the United Nations. These have been the three parties that continue to praise every mother mission French Cameroon is undertaking in the British Cameroon. They supported the fake Yaoundé dialogue and praised its outcome.